Hello, welcome back. This is Miniature Mike. Today I'm going to give you a quick video doing a character review and comparison for Plo Koon. There's only two of them, so this will be a pretty quick video, kind of like Aayla Secura last time. But Plo Koon, I think for a lot of people, and especially myself, has always been kind of a fan favorite. And like, for example, whenever I play a Jedi Academy, I would always make, myself to be a Keldor. So let's jump right into it. Let's see what Plo Koon has to offer here in his two different versions that he's got. So, gotta move this over here. There we go. Gotta put myself out of the way there. So, first things first, we got Plo Koon from Clone Strike. So, kind of jumping right into him. He's pretty solid when it comes to his stats. So, his hit points are really high for someone who's this cheap. So, that's goes really well for him. His range survivability though, and his melee, he doesn't really have anything unfortunately in the way of defense, survivability. He just has the 19 defense, the solid HP, but that's it basically. His attack's really good, so that's one thing. A common trend is that Clone Strike Jedi tend to have great stats, but they kind of miss out, as you know, on the special abilities. So good stats, can hit people pretty good, like he's going to be more consistent when it comes to actually doing damage to somebody, just not too much. So his damage though is not the best. You're looking at really only 20 damage per hit, but he's got some caveats. You have lightsaber precision, which can give you that extra 10, so that's not bad. And then you have force strike, where against droids you can do a lot more damage. So definitely kind of base damage not good, but he has some stuff to help out a little bit, which is nice. Special abilities, just has melee attack, nothing else to speak of. The force powers, I'd say, are really good for this guy. It's a little tricky to judge him because, like, he has precision, like I've mentioned, plus 10 damage, which is helpful for him because he can only do one attack. It's nice, but it's not like the craziest thing in the world, but it is nice to have that little extra kick. And then for force strike, that's a pretty underrated force power, honestly. It only costs one, but it's one of the few force powers where you spend so little to do so much damage. And because you're Republic, you'll probably go up against, droid squads somewhat often at least. And to be able to spend just one force point to replace attacks, do 30 damage to a droid enemy, that's pretty sweet, honestly. So I think you can use it 4 times. So this guy's got he's got force 4. If you don't want to use precision, you want to just kind of do a lot of damage to droids, that's pretty worth it in my opinion. So a really nice force power in my opinion, but it's limited to just 4 and it's specific to droids, so it's a bit conditional, but it's pretty good. His ability synergy though, it doesn't really have a whole lot going on there. I mean, he does have precision, that's just helpful for having good attack, but that's kind of it. The versatility though is nice because he has the precision, good stats, so he can do a little bit of damage when he needs to, but then he can also kind of break out and be really good and effective against droids. And because he's kind of a clean slate, there are other people that can make him better for sure, so that's something to keep in mind as well. And so Plo Koon score, I think he's pretty good. He's rated a little higher on Blue Milk. I think overall, like when this character came out, pretty good, especially since all these Clone Strike Jedi, they don't have any like double attack, but he's got some fun force powers to go along and be really helpful and nice. So I think that definitely works for him in his favor. Definitely been left behind a little bit, but like I said, you can do some commander effects with a variety of people to help him out. And he's not too bad. He's definitely solid. So his pros, he's got good base stats like you'd expect from Clone Strike. And then his force strike is low-key excellent, especially against those droid enemies. And then the cons, the normal stuff, no defensive stuff, no double attack. He's just kind of bare bones, but really good overall. Definitely a really fun mini. He's about $15, and I'd classify him as like an anti-droid melee fighter character. So kind of fun. And if you can really take advantage of that force strike, you'll have some fun with this guy. Okay, let's move on to the second Plo Koon, who's one of my favorite characters in the game. This guy's he's just fun. Great sculpt in my opinion. Looks cool. And he's Plo Koon Jedi Master from Masters of the Force. So overall, this guy's great, and let's jump into why that is. Like the last Plo Koon, this guy has excellent hit points, just awesome hit points. 130 hit points on a 40-point character. Most 40-point characters, they're going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of like 110, 120, so to get that extra bump is really helpful. His range survivability, and it's it's not bad. If it's long range, you just have the HP and defense, which is still pretty good, but it doesn't have anything extra. Alter can be good against, short range defensive stuff, like if someone's shooting you within 6 squares, you could force them to miss maybe. So that's something to keep in mind. So it's actually maybe more fair rather than poor. His melee survivability is pretty good because he has, again, the solid HP, solid defense, and then he has alter and block. So you have options there. So for example, you could, like, if someone rolls a critical hit, force him to re-roll it. If someone, just has a normal attack, you could do block. You have some options. You only have 4 force points again, which is a little frustrating, but it's still pretty solid overall. So when it comes to attack and damage, they're both awesome. You have 14 attack, 20 damage, but you can boost that because you have double. You have opportunist, which means you're going to have very high attack and damage against enemies that have already activated. Plus, you have precision again, like the last one. So it's kind of fun that they're carrying over some powers and some themes from the old Plo Koon. And so this guy can do, in the right circumstance, he can pretty much do a guaranteed 70 damage. That's really, really good, especially for someone who costs 40 and that's it. That's really good. 18 attack, 70 damage. That's pretty brutal. So I think that's kind of a bit underrated. You expect people that kind of have that kind of guarantee and cost a little more. He's got it and he doesn't cost too much. So his special abilities, really good. He's got opportunist. He does have pilot, and I'd have to jump into the weeds there. I don't think there's really too much for him for having pilot, honestly. I don't think, Oddball doesn't give him anything for having pilot, but if you can find out what he can get for having pilot, feel free to let me know. It almost feels like Wizards of the Coast might have had something more going on there by just assigning a bunch of random people pilot, but or it would be nice for pilot to actually do something, but he does have it. When it comes to his force powers, I think they're great. Again, limited by the 4, but you got good options. Alter and block are nice defensive powers, and then precision. While not like the craziest power in the world, it is nice that he has it, so you can do just a little more damage. So it's kind of fun. So I think they're pretty good, just pretty great overall, honestly. His ability synergy is good, especially the way opportunist and double attack work together with precision, and with having just good stats like attack and having the 20 damage already. Pretty solid stuff. I think he's really nice at his versatility though, because he has good stats, he has the opportunist, so in the situations he can do a lot, but then you have other things to go with it as well. Alter is always a really good power for versatility, because it can be helpful in a variety of circumstances. And then block is nice, precision, but then he has a commander effect as well, so there's that whole side of it where he can just be a really big benefit. And speaking of commander effects, it's each trooper follower within 6 squares can make 1 immediate attack when defeated. Like, if you're doing a big trooper army and you do things to kind of like help soup up their attack and stats and things like that, damage, this can be really nice power, because every single time someone kills you, and if you have several troopers at play, they get a free attack. So it's basically just like it's every time you kill someone, it's going to come with a cost, basically, and I think that's a pretty sweet power. So you can mix them with Masamata, some really solid trooper combinations, and it can be a lot of fun. So definitely a nice commander effect, especially with clone troopers. And so moving on to Plo Koon, I give him a 4.5. I think this guy just brings so much to the table for costing only 40. Blue Milk is, extremely high on him, of course. And so I labeled him a melee duelist, trooper commander. Right now he's around $20 on eBay and that kind of stuff if you're interested. So again, not too pricey for either character. So his pros are his deadly in melee with great stats, opportunist, precision. So that's really really strong. And then he's very nice, and also remember he's got block as well and alter. So really nice in melee. So his commander effect's awesome for trooper armies. It just makes it really frustrating for enemies to have to kind of clean up the troopers. And then overall, just really strong and versatile. And then again, he's versatile to ranged, kind of like the last one. Not as bad as the last one, because he's has some more things going on for him, but still pretty solid. So really quick ranking summary. Pretty simple. Plo Koon at 3.0, and then Plo Koon Jedi Master at 4.16. So both, I think, pretty solid. Even though this guy's only 3.0, you can do a lot of stuff to make him better, just because he's kind of a clean slate, older character. And then he's got that really fun force power, and then Plo Koon Jedi Master. Just so much good going on here. Like, really, even ability synergy could be a little bit. I think I should bump it up a little bit because he has Opportunist, he's got Precision. So I think I undervalued that just a little bit when I made this matrix. But overall, they're both just a little weak to ranged, but have a lot of fun stuff to offer. Here, the anti-droid, and then here, just kind of having some nice stuff when it comes to duelist, being a good duelist overall with all those different powers. So both really fun characters. I really enjoy Plo Koon a lot, especially Jedi Master. So if you don't have him yet, Plo Koon Jedi Master is one of those Jedi Masters, kind of like Aayla Secura, General Aayla Secura, who's awesome with trooper armies. Would definitely recommend. But anyways, I'll leave it there with that one. I appreciate you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe, definitely comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts about Plo Koon Jedi Master. And like I've mentioned before, it's a bigger video to put together due to like limited time, but I'll be getting out a Obi-Wan Kenobi video here soon. I wanted to do a couple more short ones in the meantime, but I think either the next one or the one after will be Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that's one that's been kind of long awaited. Surprised no one's requested it until recently, so I'm looking forward to doing another major character in Star Wars, and we'll get that one out here soon. So anyways, until next time, have a good one.